What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Dennis Nderitu, back at it again at Nderitu Basketball HQ. You know the drill. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification posts. Without further ado, let me just get into it. So, gracious Liz Mills calls out fun-loving, underperforming, and insecure Morans in exit debacle. So, this is an article by Mozart Sport. We're just gonna go through it. So, apparently, Coach Liz Mills will not be part of the team. And there's somewhat of a fallout. Cliff War was appointed the new head coach by KBF, and it's a shit show at this point. So Liz Mills is he's not pulling any punches. He just wants to clear her name and just say what she felt. So in displaying substance abuse and willingness to learn, prominently featured as Australian tactician response to exit speculation. So immediate former national men's basketball team head coach Liz Mills has laid into a section of her former players for engaging in unhealthy team politics rather than focusing on training and development to improve their game. So if you're a regular in this channel, you know that I do majority basketball analysis when it comes to the Kenya Morans. And one thing is for sure, the one common denominator is the fact that these guys are poor basketball players. Earlier on, we saw Tyler Ongwai quitting the Kenya Morans. There's a lackadaisical work ethic that is not there, and people inside that roster are not even working to improve their game. So they're just there just to secure a roster spot. They're just happy to qualify. And this is one thing that I've called out many a times in some multiple videos I've made analyzing the Kenya Morans in their run in the Afrobasket. And to some extent the Afro can a bit, but mostly the Afro basket. So so Coach Liz Mills is quoted as saying a lot of things. So we're just gonna read through what she was saying and just give my 2 cents on it. So Mills, whose exit from the Kenya Morans has divided opinions right down the middle, defended her tenure and exit from the team after it emerged that a section of players petitioned KBF to oust her. So there was somewhat of a mutiny. They tried to get her fired, and it rubbed her the wrong way. So the Australian outlined in an elaborate write-up events preceding to her exit and defended her actions by calling out a bunch of entitled players who sold agendas to keep their places in the team while not doing enough to earn their positions. So yes, this is one thing. The Kenya Morans have a bunch of players who are nobodies. These are guys that don't even know how to play basketball. They lack any basketball IQ. This is something I've mentioned many of times. These are players that are rejects. They have never even, they have never or will never even reach excellence in basketball. These are just throwaway guys. They just put them together. Then they expect them to mesh. And they not many of them, but let's say like 70% of them, they are just nobodies. And coming from my standpoint, Kenya has a lot of very good basketball players. And if we generated the roster from the leagues that are inside Kenya, we will get a good basketball rosters that can compete and contend. But the current one is nothing. KBF in their own ways, they will rather just settle with these guys who don't even know what they're doing on the court and cost the future for the whole generation. So we'll just go through her full response. I have spent the last 10 years coaching men's basketball in Africa. I've dedicated this time to the growth and development of the sport, and I've spoken at length about my respect for the game and the continent, especially with the international basketball community. That's okay. I mean, that's pretty solid for a coach that, has 10 years of experience under her belt. In every article and press conference, I've always proudly acknowledged and spoken highly of Kenya, the players in the federation, regardless of any issues circulating behind the scenes. So it's natural for a coach who's coaching their team to defend a team and speak highly of them because, the team, the coaching staff, the organization gave her the opportunity to coach the Kenya Morans in every year. So to compete with the top-ranked FIBA teams in Africa, the style and culture of Kenyan basketball needs to evolve. Run-and-gun, amateur tactics, and simplistic plays will hinder the team's performance, moving into an elite national competition such as the Afrobasket. This is something I mentioned earlier. the number of turnovers, the number of fouls they commit is just run and gun play. We have seen it. Basketball is evolving in Africa, and Kenya is just left behind. They're just the bottom of the barrel. When it comes to even IQ plays, they don't even know how to make good IQ plays. They don't know how to, call for offensive sets. They're running with makeshift point guards who don't even know their role on the court. We have small forwards. We have centers who foul out. They have centers who don't even know basic footwork. When I say basic footwork, I mean basic footwork. I mean, an Alberto Dero, a young guy, has better footwork than Toma Mukota, Desmond Awili, Ronnie Gundo. It's the truth. These guys are rendered a player. Desmond Awili, Bushwa Mukota, Ronnie Gundo, these guys didn't even get any significant minutes because of how horrendous they were, especially when it came to the plus minus. So, this running gun play isn't going to cut it anyway. Growth and development are challenging and uncomfortable, but can be incredibly rewarding if you're open to the process. This is what separates those who can do it and those who can't. So it's apparent that this roster is very old and they just can't learn anything. You can't have the mean age of a team to be at least 32 years. You need a young team that can be able to grow and mold. And if you look at the rosters that beat Kenya in Senegal, Angola, Mozambique, you can be surprised to see even young guys who are even 19, 20 are putting on a better show than these 30-year-old senior citizens who we have as players in the national team. So unfortunately, some players are not open to the mindset, and it reflected in the time on the court in the AfroBasket, as well as the inability to execute offensive and defensive systems and schemes. Even the greatest players in the world strive to be better. So you can see the team is old, doesn't know anything. It goes to show you that the level of IQ that these players have is very low. When you look at how they played in the AfroBasket, it was sad. They made Liz Mills' record. Okay, earlier I made a video saying that, she deserved to be fired. I'm not backtracking, but if she saw this, she would have tabled it and she would have come in. She didn't have to wait for 7 games for her to come out and say this. You could have seen this even from the first half of the qualifier, the first window of the qualifier. You should have seen this. Not just wait until everything just implodes, then you just come in and just tell us that. So the players are old and they're just satisfied. They don't even want to do anything better to even improve themselves. So it reflects on the court. If you don't put any effort inside, no result is gonna come in. A few of the Kenyan players simply did not believe they needed to get better. This is evident for people who are above age 30. They don't want to understand anything. They're too dumb to realize it. They're not PhDs. These guys, these are analysts. These are basketball players. They are dumb, and if they don't heed to what the coach is saying, of course the team is gonna fail. Competition in a team should be healthy, but some players went so far as to speak to members of the coaching staff and ask their teammates to be dropped because they are worried about their playing time. So you can see there is internal politics. You see insecure people who are grown men plotting the downfall of their own fellow men, which is sad, because the players who are doing this don't even average more than 3 points per game. So I will understand why they are feeling insecure. And they see an Alberto Dero, they'll try to shut him down. They don't even pass to him the ball. They didn't even give him minutes. So yeah, majority of the players there are dumb and they don't even know what they're doing. These same players also had numerous disciplinary infractions during training camp and at the AfroBasket. This included arriving late or missing, training and film session, as well as being late to depart for games. So you can see there's indiscipline in the team, and the team is so disconnected and nobody cares about, the other players. So it's sad at this point. Players were also caught drinking and leaving training camp to attend parties, so indisciplined. These players also abused the trust of the coaching staff that had awarded them days off or given them leave to finish work or handle family matters, and then these players fail to report to these team activities on time or at all. So you can see, you can't be sleeping the whole day. You can't be so indisciplined. Then you expect to win games. You come in the post-game press conference. You act as if you're all tough. You know what you're doing, but deep down, you know you're full of shit. So I mean, yeah, that's the whole thing. Whilst the coaching staff only had limited means to respond to such breaches, the federation was aware of them, but no action was taken. You see, corrupt KBF will not do anything. Again, let me stress that I am writing about a specific group of players within the team, and the actions do not reflect the behavior of the other players. So you can see there are good apples and there are bad apples. So the bad apples in the team are the ones that KBF is protecting, and that's why Coach Liz Mills had to be released. So I mean, it's a sad situation in corruption in KBF, and this what they are doing is the thing that they are doing here is so sad that they are ruining opportunities for young upcoming athletes in Kenya to have that opportunity to play for the national team if they let these old senior citizens go away with such infractions. So it's sad. Before I became the head coach of the Morans, Kenya had one of the worst defensive ratings in the AfroBasket qualifiers. Yeah, that's true, because Kenya was, just getting dunked on like all day, every day. At the end of the AfroBasket, the team finished with the 5th best defense and also improved its offensive efficiency. So you can see Coach Liz Mills had a plus there, but the pieces that she was given to work with was so useless that half of the team were rendered unplayable in the final minutes of the basketball game. Kenya was also able to compete and challenge for two of the top-ranked FIBA teams in Africa, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, who finished second in the tournament. Kenya was not only played at the AfroBasket for the first time in nearly 3 decades, but also advanced the group phase win after a win from Mali. So, yeah, win over Mali. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only team that we beat in the actual AfroBasket. So, it goes to show you that, the players who are in the roster are trash, and they need to be rehauled and rebuild the team around Albert Odero. You can even see Tyler Ongwai quitting the Kenya Morans because he saw there's so much mediocrity inside that team. So that team should just be blown up, hard reset, and just reset the whole team, because they're just doing nothing at this point. So let's just continue with what she said. So whilst the team's preparation was not ideal due to numerous issues, the coaching staff believed that they did our best to prepare regardless of the challenges faced. So that's just saving face, but you all know what they did. They were just shit. They're just trying to cover up their incompetence and mediocrity. It's common knowledge that AfroCan is a tournament designed to assist developing basketball countries. The best team in Africa do not compete in this tournament, as they are preparing for the World Cup, which will be held during the same period. So you can see even the Kenya reaching the AfroCan finals, it was not a huge feat, because that's a competition that's held for low-tier teams at that point. So you can see Kenya, they're trying to use that clout and that fame in the AfroBasket, which they got Harut shock, and I mean their ego just fell down flat in their face. It is important to understand the significance of a tournament, as well as note that great teams move on from past successes because they are too busy getting better and working towards new goals. So the Kenya Morans became complacent. They thought that they will use the clout in the AfroCan to oh my god, they thought they could use the same clout in the AfroCan to go to the AfroBasket, thinking that they are invincible by only winning 2 of 6 games. They had in the qualifiers 2 and 4, and they are so arrogant in beating Angola. I just wait for Kenya to meet Angola again. Kenya is going to be blown out by 40 points. They talked a lot of shit in the post-game press conference, and they talked a lot of shit against Mozambique, and they continued talking shit, even despite the fact that they only won 1 game in the AfroBasket. So it's funny. The Kenya Morans are so complacent. They're too trash to even get better. So you cannot talk trash and be trash. So Yeah, regarding my comments, that's Coach Lee's Mills, about the nature of the team in moving forward, the Federation has spoken with the coaching staff numerous times about its desire to rebuild around a younger group of players, especially those with international experience. This mandate was reflected in my comments in the press conference after the Nigeria game. No, not with international players. From local players, from the street league, street exposure inside league, from the Nairobi Basketball Association, from not the Premier League, because Premier, that's where these bumps come from, but from the CL. They should build around players coming from CL, because there are so many good players. I can even, if you ask me, I can even make for you a roster that can contend just from the CL league alone. Upon reflection, these statements were insensitively and poorly worded. Throughout my time with the team, I consistently had meetings with individual players to listen to feedback, and it's disappointing that players did not want to discuss their feedback with me after the AfroBasket. So you can see, these players are so insecure, they're so dumb, they realize that they've embarrassed the whole country in front of billions and billions around the world, yet they can't even be accountable to their own coach. I mean, does that speak good work ethic? I'm not sure. You tell me in the comment section what you think, because I know there are weak asses that are gonna watch this video and they also watch my videos. So yeah, it is unfortunate that some players feel they need to point fingers and make excuses rather than hold themselves accountable for the lack of court time and poor performance. Being able to self-reflect and analyze is what separates average players from great players. That's the point that I keep insisting. Being able to self-reflect and analyze is what separates average players from great players. So that's the whole situation. That is what makes Steph Curry great. That's what makes LeBron James great. That's what Kevin Durant strives to do every day, making sure that they improve in their skill set and perfect their craft, which is something that the Kenyan Morans do not have. It is also disappointing that these players felt the need to air their grievances to newspapers rather than going to the appropriate basketball channels. So you can see insecure people try to, control the narrative and try to paint a bad image to Coach Liz Mills, but it's just a weak move. It's just a weak beta male move that these senior citizens have. It was also not made aware by the captain or this group of players of any issues they had, nor did the federation ever speak to me regarding them. I will not make any further public statements regarding issues within the team and federation. This is a very noble thing that she did. She didn't go bad mouthing the team, but when the team decided to slander her, she had to retaliate, because this is reflecting poorly on her, because FIBA is not just a Kenyan thing, it's a global thing. And if anything happens to her, her reputation is on the line. So these players are damaging her reputation, as well as ruining basketball, the culture of basketball in Kenya. And this is the reason why Kenya does not allocate any money to improve the sport, because these bums, these senior citizens, come in, take the opportunity for the young guys, then they go and embarrass our country. Then they expect us to acknowledge their heroism of winning 2 games. Get the fuck out of here. The opportunity to coach Kenya was a great honor and one that I will always treasure. The success of the team can be attributed to everyone involved, past and present. I would also like to thank the fans in Kenya for their support, me included. Yours truly, I've been following all the games. It was greatly appreciated on a personal and a team level. That said, after AfroBasket, I had no plans to return to the team, although I did continue to speak to the federation members and some players in the hope of leaving the team in a good position to start the preparation for the World Cup qualifiers. Moving forward, I only wish the team all the best. So you can see there is an outcry there's a public outcry on putting money into the sport and making it better. And these guys, the way I go at them so hard on my channel is to show them that what they are doing, not only is it hurting Kenya and Kenyan basketball culture as a whole, it is also hurting the future generation, because the government is not going to allocate funds to a sport that doesn't do anything significant. So the federation is putting these these senior citizens who can't even barely dribble a basketball, then don't even have the ability to internalize basic basketball IQ, go out there at the FIBA World stage, global FIBA World stage, go out and embarrass our country. Then they expect us to grow. When they come home, we receive them with praise. No wonder Tyler Ongwae quit the team. He saw this is bullshit. I mean, no wonder nobody wants to come in, because this is sad, because these people have single-handedly ruined Kenyan basketball and KBF. All these players, they have frustrated an international coach. I had made a video earlier saying that I thought she was the problem, but apparently we went deeper. Okay, I can say I've retracted a bit, but I'm not taking down the video. But anyway, I'm saying the thing is, Kenya, the reason why we are failing in basketball is because of these people. They come in, they ruin the culture of basketball. Yeah, then they expect us to succeed. So, I mean, that's what she said. I feel like I've expressed everything. I don't have, the energy to keep on like repeating the same shit, because I've talked about it countless times in videos that I've made. So, I mean, I'm happy for Coach Liz Mills. Okay, thank you for coaching us. Okay, go ahead. Let's see what this core without Tailonga will do, because I'm pretty sure, actually I'm 100% sure the Kenya Morans are going to get railed by Senegal again. They're going to be blown out again. They're going to be beaten up by Egypt. They're going to be battered by Congo DR in a rematch for the finals in the Africans. So yes, they're going to get battered, and I wouldn't feel anything. And actually, I'm seeing a sweep coming, and you're not even going to win a single game. We're not going to win a single game in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. We're just going to go home like Mozambique in the Afrobasket. We're going to go home like Madagascar. We're going to regress to oblivion in irrelevancy if we don't change that core roster of players that they said that they are announcing, which is so useless. I would draft a better roster than the KBF. So yeah, Kenya Morans is down, man. It's down. So yeah, I'm out. Don't have anything to add on there. Peace out, guys.